So let's just do one more reading. Now, this recently bought book, Nāgārjuna, Mindfulness of the Buddha, just as it is here. Or Mindfulness of the Buddha, right? Kalavinka Buddhists. I think that any part of the book would be good, right? How I'm feeling to read, right? If I have here the whole book, the index of the book, so I can see this here, right? If I open the cover and I'll put the beginning of the book and I go there, normally we have here some part of here, the points of the content of the book, right? And it's very good to find it and what I want to read, where I want to read, right? Sometimes, of course, it's better just to get right to the point of this part here in the left, top left, this icon here, and open it, right? So I can get the thing that I want, just searching here. And it's very small one, small topics or big topics, few topics, right? And I can get just by looking at this, right? Let's start the first one. Mindfulness of the Buddha is very clear. So I could just start right here to check if it's good or not, if I like or not, right? The part 2, the Pratyutpanna Samadhi, Mindfulness of the Buddha, right? Chapter 20. When Bodhisattva, dwelling on the first ground, has completed what is to be practiced due to the power of this root of goodness, he will naturally be able to see several hundred Buddhas. When in this above discussed manner, the Bodhisattva subdues his own mind, he develops a deep love for the path of Buddhahood. He then completely fulfills the first ground practice in accordance with the way he learned them. Then, due to the power of his root, goodness, and merit, he is naturally able to see the present era Buddhas of the 10 directions right before his very eyes. Is there any other way to be able to see the Buddhas? It is solely through the power of roots of goodness and merit that one is then able to see the Buddhas, or is there some other method by which one can do so? On entering the Pratyutpanna Samadhi, one sees the Buddhas. Response: there is a deep samadhi that the Buddha explained for the sake of Buddhapala. If one acquires this Samadhi treasure, one becomes able to see the Buddhas. Buddhapala was lay Bodhisattva well able to practice the Dutta austerities. It was for the sake of this Bodhisattva that the Buddha spoke in the Pratyutpanna Samadhi Sutra. The Pratyutpanna Samadhi is one in which one sees the Buddha right before one's very eyes. When the Bodhisattva says the essentially precious Samadhi, even though he might not yet have gained heavenly eye and heavenly ear, he is nonetheless able to see the Buddhas of the 10 directions, and he is also able to listen to the Dharma, to the sutras being taught by those Buddhas. So just a small part of it, because I don't want to read more of this part right now, because it's not what I want, not what I just like more. I want to check if the book has more of the contents that will please me better, right? But this part is okay, it's good, it's nice. I will just check for more, because not now, I don't want it now. So I found other parts that could be better. So randomly, I just sing these throughout the top of my faith. So he perfected, right? He perfected the great wisdom and became forever liberated from samsara. I now take refuge and bow in reverence to that supreme and incomparable honored one. Kanakamuni, the great Arya and unsurpassable honored one, attained the perfect realization of Buddhahood beneath the Udambara tree, reached the penetrating comprehension of all the measures he embodies in many dharmas. I do therefore take refuge in him, the foremost unsurpassable honored one. Kasyapa Buddha the Bhagavat, with eyes like a pair of lotus blossom, achieved the perfect realization of Buddhahood beneath the Nāgārjuna tree. To all the 3 realms there is nothing he fears. His gait is like that of King of the Elephants. I now take refuge in him, bowing down in reverence to the insuperable honored one. Sakyamuni Buddha beneath the Asvata tree conquered Mara the enemy in perfect and surpassed enlightenment. His countenance is like the full moon, pure and free of any blemish. I now bow down in reverence to that heroically brave and supreme honored one. So this part here is very good because it gives me what I want too. That is like the emotion, the sensation of the connection, of this reverence of the quality of achievement, right? Because it's achieving something. It's achieving something is giving us the knowledge of what means, right? The realization, the perfection, what means to have to be the king of the elephants, or the gate like the king of the elephants. It's even funny, right? If you understand this, what is the unsurpassable honored one, things like this, it comes straight to the mind, at the top of the mind. What's the Buddhist? What is this kind of Buddhism? And what is the kind of the perfect way to wisdom? The information that enters you, just like a small part information, it will bring you what is written, right? You will learn because it's written. So I just can get a small part. If I like or not, I will continue. If I understand or not, I will continue. If I see equality with this information, we will continue or not. And the part of the book that we read, it will be this one or other one. I will read the whole book only if it's necessary, only if I want, right? Right now I just want a random reading, a small reading, small parts, to give me this full blessing of the understanding, the knowledge, the full blessing of what is the human power, the body power, what is the power of my strength, my qualities, my aspirations, my knowledge, my geniosity, right? So it will, of course, give me more logics, words, phrases, understanding, for me to build these instances, this new intelligence that comes from Buddhism, right? So we can even randomly continue whatever I want, because I want, right? By resorting to such eloquent discourse, he rescues beings from all maladies arising by clinging to pleasures. He has already liberated such beings, and now liberates yet more. I therefore bow down in reverence to him. The devils bow down in reverence to he who is the most honorable of all humans and devils. Their 7 jeweled crowns were brought low and touch his feet. I do therefore take refuge in him. The Sangha of all worthless and Aryas, as well as the multitudes of humans and devils, all join and take refuge in him. Therefore I too bow down in reverence to him. One who boards a ship of the Eightfold Path will be able to cross beyond that sea so difficult to cross, delivering himself to liberation while liberating others as well. I bow in reverence to he who has achieved sovereign mastery in this. So, of course, for countless couples, the Buddhas proclaim the praises of his marriage qualities. They would still be unable to come to the end of them. I take refuge in he who has become such a purified person. Very good, 7 minutes of reading. That's interesting. Just a small part, a good logics. He who is. The logic of he who is, literary logic, as we're talking about. So he who is, the eloquence, the strength, I bow down, the reverence, the refuge, the worth is, the ones that disclose it. The crossing beyond the difficulties. So it's very, very subtle. The difference is good, right? For many different reasons, the Buddhas of the present route and direction speak qualities of that Buddha. I take refuge in him, I'll bow down in reverence. His land is especially majestic, it's adornment, surpassing the palace of all devas. Its qualities are especially profound and abundant, that therefore bow down and rest at the feet of the Buddha. So if I read randomly just small parts, I will anyway complete the book as much as I want, right? So I'm just randomly reading and painting it here the way that I will like and understand. So that's my way of reading. The Buddha way of reading, it could be just like this. Okay, 7 minutes, 8 minutes now, I will finish another small reading on the easy practice, treatise on the 10 grounds, page 50. Nāgārjuna, Mindfulness of the Buddha, selected readings. Thanks for being here.